If there was a telepath war, cool. I'm here for it. But
Oh,
yeah, it
there
did seem,
was, and it was less than cool, unfortunately.
oh, nuts.
They just kind of boarded themselves off in a room and went. "Roar." For the listener, I'm holding my hand up against the laptop and the other one against my forehead to get the mental energy to everybody. Roar. Is it working?
It's
Is it
working.
All right.
I feel like I'm going insane.
There's a hole in your mind.
Just another cash grab.
I will kill Mike Slater.
Ladies' night out to Zahadu, girls.
It's part of the code. The boneheads don't kill the other boneheads.
Just to get them all in.
Just my little fingies, get them all in there, nothing weird. Mummy is not a perfect film.
More dino glasses for the Narn.
Miss Piggy makes it on the deck.
Why is Mike on a sing about?
I was born in Philadelphia.
The devil's mullet.
And the year of joy.
The year is 2026.
The name of the show, you gotta check this out.
Welcome back to another episode of You Gotta Check This Out, or as it's now known for this season at least, You Don't Gotta Check It Out, where two old guys, Mike Slater and myself, Dre Alvarez, tell you something we think you should check out. We thought you should check out Babylon 5, and we have been trekking through it, through the stars, and we are now on to season 5, where we realize it was a mistake. We shouldn't have anybody check it out, but luckily, Mike, here's the good news. Luckily, it's just you and me watching this horrible TV show. Wow. Certainly, you would not subject any of your good friends to a terrible episode. What did you do, Mike?
Once again, Dre.
Why I oughta.
I found somebody else to drag into it. And, we just had the Blitzcast. We just had Bill Johnston on last week. I think it's definitely starting to pick up here. I'm not quite as embarrassed to go through these episodes. So after having Bill on last week, I decided to reach just a little further into the Johnston clan to my other friend, Pete Johnston. This is Pete Johnston. He's a film professor at MSU working on his featured documentary about magicians called Magic Town. He's directed documentaries and short films. You can check out his website, pizzagenie.us, or just Pizza Genius. It's easier to see and say. And
that's clever. I like it.
Yeah, you see it out there. And he's a former Jeopardy contestant where he finished in the quarterfinals on the Champions Wildcard Tournament. Pete Johnston, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody, and hello, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to get into it.
Yeah, is there anything I missed about that? I know you have a lot of illustrious things going on there. I always spent some time on Pizza Genius to see what you've been up to.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I teach film at Michigan State. I make film, and I'm the film program director at Capital City Film Festival, which just wrapped up last 2 weekends ago. So it's kind of good to, wrap up Film Festival and then dive into Babylon 5. Why not?
All right. So as mentioned, Babylon 5, Season 5. We've recapped this about 20 times now. Let's do it one more time. They thought the show was canceled. It unexpectedly was not canceled. And a burnt-out writer who had been going full steam ahead, this is J. Michael Straczynski, for 4 seasons, kept going. And this, by the way, this was a major first, and this will never happen again. Having a showrunner in complete control of a hour-long episodic television show with over 20 episodes. He wrote every episode of the first 3 seasons. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, the thing about having a show like this for so long, too, is we've kind of had to re-explain this to every guest who comes on, as well as a listener. Well, every listener is their first show at some point, but I think at some points there's only 4 total episodes left in the entire series, Dre. So I don't know about you, but I thought we'd take a slightly different approach for our previously on for a couple of reasons. First of all, the last episode we cover on the show was the last episode, so there's nothing to cover previously for people who've been following along. However, Pete, you are brand new to this show. That's right.
I'm brand spanking new. I've never seen an episode prior to Wheel of Fire.
So if for whatever reason this is your first episode, welcome. Listen to Blitzcast. It legit is a blast. Even the bonus content is ridiculous. We had a game on there. We played 2 truths and a lie with all of our contestants, where we'd give them three sentences about season 5 of Babylon 5, and they had to guess which was, me and Mike being honest and which was us not. Seeing as you are a champion of sorts of trivia, Mike, what I figured we could do is I thought we could do baseball rules. We still have some leftover questions from Two Truths and a Lie. I'm just going to read them, and Pete, basically, you get to keep going until you strike out.
Okay.
So now, keep in mind, in theory, Pete, these are structured where two of them are supposed to be true and one is a lie.
Got it.
So you can do some metagaming, but because you're a good friend of Mike, I would feel remiss to not just be honest that Mike is a bastard. He takes after Greg Daniels on Taskmaster.
You got me.
And I said on Blitzcast, do not trust a Slater in a quiz.
Okay.
Anyway, but with that in mind, I'm going to imagine some awesome music coming from Mike Slater right now. I can see it in my brain like I'm a redheaded telepath. Let's get going. Number 1. This is season 5 of Babylon 5. You tell us it's true or false.
Got it.
The telepaths threaten to kill Franklin if they don't get their colony.
I'm going to go true.
Strike 1. They threatened to kill Garibaldi, and this is actually in the past, but, whatever.
They did threaten to kill. Okay.
I was going to say that I didn't even bother asking the question we normally did, which is, what was your familiarity with Babylon 5? You said you were adjacent and new, and I'm going to assume that after Mike proposed this to you, you watched nothing but Wheel of Fire, correct?
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. So, my first question was, what is Babylon 5? As I'm watching the show, I've come to understand it is some sort of space station, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good.
We catch on to that.
I picked up.
Going with the
right.
baseball?
Yeah, let's keep going with
I
baseball.
caught up to you. I got the thing in front of me. So, Pete, here's the next one. The pitch is, Lita can see through air ducts if she touches their grate. True or false?
That seems... I saw Lita destroy a surveillance camera. I think she can do it. Yes, true.
Ding, ding, ding.
I don't even mind jumping ahead because we'll talk that scene for sure. It was supposed to be badass, right? Our telepath, Garibaldi, our chief of security, says, what about that camera? And she goes, what camera? And it's supposed to be badass, but she just knocks the camera out of the wall, basically, with her mental powers. And the answer is that camera, it's broken, but it's
Still recording.
It's like you could have said, I don't think it's working, or I have a hunch it's not working. That would have been
I had stuff to say about that scene when we get to it. I'll save it for the episode recap.
All right, now let's get on to the next one. Okay, so keeping you in the loop, you've got one. You've got one strike so far.
One
All
strike,
right.
one hit.
Number 3. Garibaldi is offered a huge promotion back on Earth and announces to Sheridan that this will be his last year on Babylon 5.
Oh, God. This would have been prior to this? Oh, gosh. I'm going to say true.
Oh, okay. So you actually have the information required from this episode. This is Mike being Mike. It's false because it was on Mars.
On Mars, of course. Okay.
Of course, yeah.
Got it. Right.
All right. Number 4, Jakar, that's the lizard dude,
Yes. Jakar rules. I love Jakar.
becomes a famous religious leader among the Narn.
True.
Yes, I was going to say,
yeah.
if you missed that, we would have this is actually
Big part of this episode.
Loved it. Love
All right.
Jakar. I want to see a Jakar spinoff. We'll get into it.
Oh, yeah, Jakar's great. If you go back and watch a lot, he's a good one to follow. All right, next question. Garibaldi takes on a covert mission, but screws it up by getting drunk while his contact gets shot.
That seems true from what I know about Garibaldi.
You got it. I mean,
He's a
today,
drunk.
Again, it's the drunk episode we get to.
Yeah.
I will say the last 2 have been true. So we're doing 2 truths and a lie. The last 2 have been true.
Okay.
All right. After rescuing Natath from prison, who hasn't been seen since season 2, Jakar appoints her as his successor on Babylon 5.
I'm just going to go with false because I haven't said false yet.
Yes, beautiful. Okay, so you're through 2 rounds, by the way. You've got 2 strikes.
Softball at the beginning, Dre 3 if towards that way, but good job.
Yeah, by the way, just so you know, because this is how wild the show is, he doesn't appoint his former person that just disappears. He appoints the Narn with a sword. There is a Narn with a sword.
I mean, that's who you want on your side, right?
Yeah.
The Norn with the sword.
Yeah, exactly.
Sword?
The sword.
The Norn with the sword.
I'm just verifying that I'm not having a stroke and you guys are being silly because it's 50-50 with how this season's been going. All right, on to our 3rd round. Number 1, Rangers test their troops' resolve through an intergalactic drag race.
False.
All right, that is correct. They do not do it. Instead, they leave them to die and then say, just kidding.
It's much more effective. Just straight to the point.
That happened to me in Boy Scouts, so I understand.
It's classic.
All right,
so
so-
still hanging there. There's 2 strikes, but getting more and more hits as we go.
All right, next up, Veer has a fruit fight with a Drazi.
That sounds like Veer. Yes, true.
So Veer. That's
So
fruit
Veer, that's
fighting
so
guy.
Veer. All right, Lita passes Jakar's interview asking for funds for a new telepath homeworld by refusing to spy on other delegates with her telepath army. You know, the thing her boyfriend did.
I'm going to go true.
Oh man, you're crushing
That
it.
so happened.
Yes.
Mike, you want to do next round?
Yeah, I'll do the next round. All right, here we go. Lanier becomes an ass-kicking ranger.
I don't know who that is, so I'm going to go true.
That is true. They left him out in space to die and saved him at the last moment. Damn,
Hell
now he's
yeah.
a ranger.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Going on. The show attempts to spin off Bester into his own show about Psy-Corps by having a bottle episode in which Bester mentors young Psy-Corps recruits.
That sounds cool, and I would like to see it, so yes, true.
Yep, and you're gonna see it. We might have to have you back on with Joe sometime to go back to that episode, because another Johnston, we didn't get this to the season.
All right, and by the way, that's 2 truths in a row, so third up. And by the way, Mike, I was getting Bester's babies stuck in my head there.
Bester's babies, they'll put stuff in your head. Oh, wow.
I would unironically watch that show if it was Muppet Babies, but Bester is nanny, and it's a bunch of alien
I
telepaths.
sat out at the show trying to figure out who the babies would match up to on the Muppet Babies characters for Babylon 5 babies.
There will be a quiz later, Mike. All right, now we've got number 3. Delenn gets pregnant, and a side effect of the pregnancy is that she gets extra turned on and keeps hitting on Sheridan at inappropriate times.
That sounds insane. I'm going to say false.
Yes, all right. Now here's the good. I'm actually excited about this. You have made it to the final round. So if you get through this round, you will have won this game, which we changed the rules up on.
We made all these for Blitzcast. I think you've gotten through more of these than the actual Blitzcast members.
I'm flying on
kudos already.
vibes. Thank you. I'm going pure vibes.
Oh, they're good vibes.
All right,
They're
Mike,
good vibes.
Mike, I'm going to call you in as the reliever. Do you want to finish up our last 3?
All right, I'll finish up. Let's keep going. We got 2 strikes and many hits. Your question is, Lanier tries to murder Captain Sheridan. True or false? Remember, this guy's a ranger. We've established that.
Yes. Right. But I'm going to go true.
Yes.
You
Okay.
keep the streak going. How is this happening? All right, next one. Claudia Christensen is not in this season, but footage of her from last season was used to finish Ivanova's character arc.
I don't know who that is. Did I meet Ivanova in this episode?
You did not. She's not in this season.
Okay, then I'm just going to say true.
It's another hit.
All right. Londo's last episode is a clip show where he's in a coma and all the characters remember their favorite Londo moments.
That also sounds, from I'm just going to go true. I think it might be right.
Almost made it.
Yeah, if it was false, we didn't lie at the end.
They didn't do it, but they should have. They really should have done it.
That's the funny thing is the irony is like they did a show where his chest was pulsating red and he was seeing it in a dream.
I kept calling it the Jell-O chest mold he found. It was beautiful. It kept telling him psychic things.
All right, well, that was actually a pretty awesome previously on, Mike, and a pretty awesome quiz. Only an insane group of people would follow up a really long, convoluted quiz with another long, convoluted quiz.
All right, so now it's time for the Talia Winters memory quiz. Are you ready, Pete?
I'm ready.
Okay. I say question 1, we are going the regular rules with Dre versus Pete. So if you're going to buzz in, use your name and then answer the question. So, for instance, if you're Pete and you know the answer to the question, you say Pete. And then you answer the question. Wow, you're right on it. It's like you've done this before.
I tried to do that on Jeopardy and they scolded me.
All
I said,
right,
use your buzzer.
Well, speaking of Jeopardy, there is going to be a penalty here. If you accidentally answer in the form of a question, Lorian's going to hurl you into the outer ring. So don't make that mistake here.
But if I intentionally answer in the form of a question, I'm good.
We'll see, Dre. All right, now, question the first. The category is Rats Off to Garibaldi. What two sound-alike Babylon 5 races does Garibaldi confuse, giving away that he's drunk at a meeting?
I forgot to write this down.
I know one.
And the clue is that they sound like each other. All right, if I get bored here and you guys don't say anything, I'm giving you the multiple choice. Choice A, tomatoes and the tomatoes. Choice B, the Drazi or the Schnazi. Choice C, the biggest or the dickus. Or D,
B, Dre. D.
Dre is correct. It's D, the Minbari and the Centauri.
All right.
Classic.
Pete,
Classic Minbari Centauri.
I didn't give you the
up.
Jeopardy. We don't have Jeopardy rules around here, which is you are allowed to buzz in ahead of time. This is established. I'm a stickler for the rules.
Pete said he listened to it before, so he doesn't. No quarter here. All right. Question the second. Category is Rats Off to the Lizard Wizard. Name one of the reasons the Narn think that Jakar is now a holy figure. The representative gives several reasons why half of the Narn population thinks that Jakar is now officially a holy figure.
I gotta be honest. I can talk our ears up, but I want to hear if Pete has something, so I'm waiting here. But if
Pete. Because he's so damn sexy.
Oh,
I'm counting it, Mike. I don't care. Oh,
that would get
Dre
you into
from
wizard
the future
school.
is overriding it. That is absolutely true. Pete, to fill in more, you didn't use your wish for this. One of the failed things that JMS started to tease that would have been amazing was Lita and Jakar, like, basically doing the Mandalorian. He was like, what if they went? And I'm like, that would have been cool. And he basically teases it at the end of this episode.
They got you can see the spinoff just wanting to happen there.
It's in my notes. Lita and Jakar spinoff? Question mark? Yes, I was definitely wanting that.
We get Legend of the Rangers instead, which I think that'd be a fun torture device, Mike, to see how long someone could last before quitting that. Anyway,
Legend of the Rangers or the other one.
Well, Legend of the Rangers is just one episode is the thing. It's that bad, though. All right.
I'm thinking about Crusade. All right, but anyway, you didn't even give Dre, you didn't give the answer. What is the answer? Why do they think that Jakar is now a holy person?
I thought we were counting it. I thought we were counting sexy. I'm counting sexy.
All right, I'm counting sexy, too. I just want to hit
you. If you want the boring answers, it's he freed the planet by, going to Centauri Prime. He was able to go to Centauri Prime and get back. He wrote the Book of Jakar. There you go.
All right, boring enough to count. Question the third. The category is, hello me, it's me again. Rats off to us. Why does Lockley tell Garibaldi that they hated each other from day one?
This scene. Oh, my God.
Pete, what's your answer?
Because she was also an alcoholic, and she knew he was one too.
Yeah, they both knew. Ding, ding. In one of the most...
recognized game.
All right, we're going to skip right by that one because I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about that later. So, question the fourth. Category is bombs off to ya. What words were found in graffiti near all of the bombing sites on Earth?
Oh, God, it was something so lame.
I know one of them. I'm trying to remember the full...
I can't think of it.
We're going to have to see if we can metagame this right in the multiple choice. I'm actually excited, right? Because if I get in, we tie.
All right. A, is it Lockley and Garibaldi forever? Is it 2, Rats Off to Psychor? Is it 3, Remember Byron?
Dre. Safe.
Dre. Remember Byron.
3. I think you said 3, but I'm going to say C. Can I ask what was D? What was D?
It was going to be nerd numbers because that's the next category, and I was reading random words off of my notes here because I had neglected to make multiple choices.
You're like, they better not get here. All right.
Improv!
What? You're ruining the magic. Don't ruin the magic.
Which brings us to question the fifth. Nerd numbers. How many years does Lita make Garibaldi wait before she will remove Bester's neural blocks?
Dre, 2.
Exactly, 2 years. And that concludes the quiz.
Bravo.
I'd end it boringly, but I didn't see the opportunity for something funny there. And I don't think, Mike, what were you going to do for multiple shows? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 100?
It's a standard 2-year non-compete sort of neuroblock wait,
exactly.
Standard contract.
So
I mean, we're watching history made here. This is where they established law for this.
Yeah.
So, by the way, before we get going on the episode proper, I got to do one thing. Can you all explain this Rats Off? Because that has happened pre-show, in the notes, in text, now on the show. What's going on?
It's a colloquialism. It's something you say to another person to denote respect, either on seeing them or leaving. Kind of like aloha. Wouldn't you say that works?
Yeah, I think that's basically, rats off to you, good sir.
Yeah, rats off to you, good sir. Also to you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to feel crazy recapping this episode anyway, so I don't think my state of mind has changed much. Okay, now we typically do, I think we've gotten a lot, so just be prepared that I'm going to ask a lot of how did that scene hit you. And I'm actually curious about some of the cinematography, because I did notice that was done okay in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
All right, scene number 1. Jakar is back, and that was a trip, by the way. For what it's worth, listen to the last episode with another Johnston, The Fall of Centauri Prime. I wonder what happened in that episode. And Jakar's, this is crazy, I'm out. And that's going to be a running theme, by the way, this episode included, where main characters are like, that's weird. Should I do something? Nope. So Jakar is back, and he discovers that in his absence, he's just become too sexy. That all of the Narn and all of the galaxy are coming to Babylon 5 saying, Jakar, we're either going to come follow you to Babylon 5, or Jakar, you got to come back to Narn and lead us. And Lockley's kind of weird because she is the new captain this season, and Mike, she does nothing. This episode, she shows up, and you're like, she's back. She going to do something? No.
She's left this season for 5 to 6 episodes at a time. It's crazy, like how much Lockley does not do much.
And she's just back to Raz, the top diplomat of one of the major races. Pretty much that's what she's back for here. And so
I think they want to see some kind of assumed familiarity between the captain and everybody on the ship, because that's really what the last 2 captains had. But now it's how many scenes did she actually even have with Jakar before this?
Yeah, and you already alluded to it once, Pete, but they really go out of their way to try and be like, she'll bond. They like her. And it's like, they've already done this once. That's going to be a recurring theme throughout this entire episode of, this is a plot line they already did better, which is we had Tron, Bruce Boxleitner, join, and at first he's an outsider and then he's accepted and he wins everybody over. But, that took over a season, and Lockley has had 3 episodes. And it just, it's the
she
mean
benefits
girls.
from assumed familiarity with the crew. It's a Babylon 5 captain. Yeah, she's got it with everybody, the crew, yada, yada.
But not me. Yeah.
That's wild. So she's new. Well, why? Was it just a pure casting reason? Like, why did they bring in a new...
The plot reason is that Sheridan, the captain this season, he was kind of promoted or have a side promotion to becoming the president of the Alliance. Which very similar to previous on Babylon 5, it's just a conglomeration of races working together in the galaxy. Right. And then she's also the president. Now she's the captain because someone still has to steer the ship, I guess.
I see. So they needed somebody, and she's promoted. Right.
And externally, the boring answer is they also lost a key actress that we all liked and had been around forever. And so we're replaced with another one that worked before. And again, I hate to just do this, Mike. It just rhymes. So much of this episode is plots we've seen before that were previously done better. And I'm not mad. I think I already kind of alluded to this. JMS was spent. But if you get the opportunity at a network television show, especially in the 90s, you don't say no. You don't say I'm not ready. You put something out. And I can't even be mad, especially since the first 4 seasons of Babylon 5 are so good. Scene 2 is a trip in a billion ways.
This is the Garibaldi's drunk scene.
This is the Garibaldi intervention ? Maybe what? So
I loved it so much.
Yeah, okay. I'm excited to hear your thoughts, because basically Garibaldi wakes up, he's drunk, Franklin's like, come on, get to the meeting, and it's later, it's now.
He almost said, "What's up, Doc?" He said, "What's up?" Franklin. He should have said, "What's up, Doc?" I mean, it's established that he's a Looney Tunes fan as well.
But he's off his game, Mike. That's the point.
He's
Exactly. Just
So
What's up, sir? I forget how it goes. What is it?
Yeah.
What's my line?
That is a dead-on Garibaldi, and you are absolutely mimicking the image that Mike has in our script from him. So Garibaldi shows up, does the classic, I'm not ready for the midterm or, class presentation, but I'm going to fake it. Falls on his face. That was several quiz questions. And this scene is so clunky because Sheridan's like, you're drunk, everybody get out. And then Delen's like, don't yell at the kid. And then Sheridan comes in and goes, I knew you'd been drunk, but I hope I was wrong. But anyway, I was mad, but now I'm not. But go clean yourself up. And
well, he does the disappointed parent thing. He literally says, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed in you. And you can see Garibaldi just squirming right there.
Well, we still have Tell Don't Show there because Garibaldi's like, not disappointed. I'd prefer you yell or scream at it.
That's right.
But it's just not. What should be really key here is through the first 4 seasons, Sheridan was this master tactician that knew what was going on, that would play people against each other, that knew human and alien nature right to get to know how they were going to act. And this season, I can't believe my former second in command, who was a drunk, who just went through some really bad trauma, is drunk, even though he keeps acting drunk. You know what I should do? I should put all of the important stuff in his hands. So this season, unfortunately, tears down a lot of the awesomeness of the characters. As a new viewer, you got to be like, what's going on? So I got to ask, how did the scene play to you?
I was just into it because I have no idea. At first I thought, is Garibaldi the captain? I don't know who anybody is. I don't know what their rank
Captain's
is.
drunk again.
That's what I thought. I was like, okay, Captain is drunk. This is fun. But then I sort of start to, kind of understand how they all relate to each other. And I was sort of here for it, not really knowing any of their backstories. I was just like, okay, I like this. This is some drama. It's melodramatic. It's very corny in certain ways, but it hit all the tropes in a way that I was enjoying.
It played very telenovela, right? I would say
very much.
Garibaldi is the biggest falling up character, and we just get to watch this guy start out as drunk, not really fix anything, and just start falling into success left and right to the point where he owns the biggest corporation on Mars and is in charge of it by the end.
And he's got his hot wife or girlfriend or whoever is back.
Yes.
Just comes back to get him. Just like all this magic stuff out of nowhere keeps happening to him. And it starts out like this. It's insane.
Keep it up, buddy.
He started out as Daffy Duck, but he turned into a Bugs Bunny.
I just like that in this scene, it's the first time he actually has consequences. At the end where Sheridan says, you're suspended. Is that actually the first thing that's come down on Garibaldi? Because he's done some pretty crazy stuff in the past, including kidnapping Sheridan and turning him over to his enemies. And this is the only time where they came down and suspend him.
Yeah, he punches Sheridan. It's a good point, but it doesn't last.
And he's right back the next couple episodes.
We love Garibaldi. All right, you actually do get a nice classic Babylon 5 scene, which is randomly Franklin has to have a long philosophical discussion with another character. This has been a throughput.
Classic trope.
Yeah, if JMS wants to put some prose that he has on a thought, he just has Franklin randomly talk to another character. The other character's, what are you doing here?
Well, he talked about that in the commentary a lot. How if he ever had I got a whole bunch of exposition that I have to sneak in somewhere, shove it on Franklin. That guy will make anything work.
Yeah, that guy ruled. I liked him. He was he had the gravitas.
Yeah, he's from soap operas too. He's
so he's used
to all
to
the
it.
melodrama. Yeah, and just live
Richard
whatever.
Biggs, he's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the more established actors that kind of got the part. Sadly, passed away really young, which is a bummer. But yeah, he basically does philosophy 101 to Jakar, where Jakar's God's weird, and Franklin goes, what if we're a puzzle for God? And Jakar's, whoa, I'm going to go hang out with the hot...
understand God. Oh my God, what am I trying?
He's like, I hear it now. I got to go hang out with the hot redhead. You're like, you got it, Jakar. You got it.
Go do it. Yeah.
Franklin was like the Data to me. I mean, Franklin is wise. He's sage. He can be a mirror to us.
Well, it really works that his character comes across that way. He had his own personal drug crisis, a whole series where he went on a walkabout as a religious experience, came back and became this person after that. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. I got to get back.
Actually, thank you for reminding me of that, Mike, because that was a note I forgot. And the
You're
drunk
going to take
scene
a
had so
walkabout
much
today?
I got to take a walkabout. I
Got to
do
take a
need to
walkabout. Man, to talk about.
Yeah, but when Sheridan was talking to drunk Garibaldi, he's, oh man, I missed this on Franklin. And then we're going to establish coming up with Lockley in 2 scenes that she was a former alcoholic. It's, Sheridan, you might have a problem recognizing that your friends have substance abuse problems, and maybe don't keep putting them in major control. Anyway, all right, now we get another exposition-heavy scene. This had to have been wild because we cram a bunch in. This season we had the telepath war, finally, which was one of the most underwhelming things ever for how much it was built up. This universe has telepaths. Telepaths and Mundane are going to fight. It's X-Men versus the normals. Are they going to bust out the Sentinels? And cult guy comes along, makes a sex cult, and then blows himself up.
It happened.
That was what happened. But the fallout is Lita, our most powerful redheaded telepath, is going to take up his cause. And everybody knows, I do love this about this show, Mike, which is anytime someone's, I'm going to be clever and covert, everybody's, this person thinks they're being clever, but we're able to track that all of the money for terrorists.
They're alternately, because we had all these conversations earlier about, they're either really good or really bad about that, where it's like there's either on the ship, they have one camera goes out so they can't tell anything that's going on in a room. They don't have bugs everywhere and monitors everywhere on the ship. Or it's, like this, where it's like, we knew, everybody knows you can't hide anything.
We knew instantly who it was.
It's
Lita, definitely Lita. She's been blowing up buildings.
So Lockley and Sheridan, like someone from Earth calls and just like, so just checking, after you had that like major telepathic terrorist group on your station, after he died, you didn't let the most powerful telepath just hang out on the station still. And they're like,
oh yeah, she's cool.
We did that, and she's okay. Well, we'll send her back, and they're okay. And
she's cool. She's over there. She's hanging out in the diner with a bunch of people.
Yeah,
she's in the cantina.
Then we have a nice interjection, which Mike, you and I were talking about this. So before they go capture Lita. Spoiler: they capture Lita. Lockley has to go talk to Garibaldi, wrapping up an arc that has had so many gaps in it as to not even be coherent. But in theory, it's Lockley is the new captain and she's a badass, and Garibaldi doesn't like authority, and they're going to fight. But damn it, I don't have to like you, but I respect you, kind of. But they don't do that enough for it to matter, and this is the resolution where she comes in.
There's 2 episodes, one where Garibaldi is coming in where she's having a meeting with Bester, and Bester's the guy who put all the mental locks on him, so he immediately tries to throw him to the side, and Lockley just puts Garibaldi into the brig for that, so they have kind of an episode where they have it out, but don't really come to anything that's settled. And now this is kind of the next beat, the settling of that conflict.
Where she's, I'm going to be here if you want me here or not. And he yells and screams, and she says, it's because it's like, I understand you. You're an alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. We're all alcoholics. And
let's all have a drink.
This episode was not about space. It was about recovery.
Yes.
So the Aaron Sorkin walk and talk of an actress, Tracy
Don't you
Strong.
dare walk away from me. I am going to follow you into this elevator, and we're gonna talk about
me. That's the funny.
Me. We're gonna talk about my problem.
This is such an after-school special vibe, like out of nowhere. Right when we're getting to the good part about this powerful telepath, like wreaking havoc on stuff, we're going to have a little aside for an after-school special about what it means to have alcoholic parents.
Yeah, if she had stopped and said she had a problem, she did caffeine pills, like I would have lost it.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm glad
so excited. I'm so scared.
Thank you. All right. I was like, you can't not finish.
Can't set it up and not knock it down.
All right. I love it. But yeah, we do literally have the Saved by the Bell, Jesse. I'm so excited. I'm so scared, except she's supposed to be helping him. Doesn't matter. We'll resolve it. We'll get to it, Mike. We'll get. Next scene is one of my favorites. I've said this a lot, where it's the everybody after this scene should respond and no one does. And it's wild. Lita Alexander, most powerful telepath in the universe now, it's been established, is just hanging out, doing illegal weapons deals, which is hilarious because Lockley, the captain of the ship, and Zach Allen, affectionately named Haircut by Mike, are now chief of security, now that Garibaldi's been fired from everything. They're like, all right, let's go take down Lita. They're like, there she is with the most notorious weapon smuggler on the station. And you're like, you were so bad at your job. This is like Mos Eisley Cantina, but it's like, it's not a cantina. You're chief of security. You're like, there's the most wanted person with the second most wanted person just sitting there.
Let's see what they do.
And they do and so Lockley does correctly say, she's like, Lita's not scared. That should make us scared. And we do have one of the most practical effects scenes that I thought played well. I'd be curious, Pete, if you agree.
Yeah, I'm really interested what Pete heard of this, because like my thought of this is, wow, this is a good way to portray, on a very low budget, how powerful someone is. Just have her tap her hands.
I love that. I love the rhythm game. It was awesome. That was amazing.
To explain for the listener, what happened is they approach Lita. They're like, you're captured. And she's, I'm not captured. And she's like tapping her fingers on the table almost impatiently. And then they look around and they realize everybody else in this bar area, it's more like a food court, but whatever, is like tapping their fingers. And then she just starts like slamming the table and everybody's slamming. And they're doing like in a beat. So she's like doing like.
And everybody goes.
It's like a call and answer. Yeah, we're jamming together.
And it's like, uh-oh, are you going to be able to do anything with Lita? And she says ominously, you cannot control anybody who's been touched by a Vorlon. She's like, oh no. And then Sheridan shows up with a gun.
Who also has been touched by a Vorlon, but he has a gun.
But he also says, you haven't been touched by a Vorlon. And by the way, Mike, sorry that you hit my tangent brain perfectly. Huge shout out to Tiff Myers over at Sus Stories, who has a regular segment about how he would take down comic book characters. And with so many of them, he's, they're strong, but I got a gun. He's, they're covered in flame, but what if I shoot them with a gun?
What if I sneak up to her with a baseball bat? What are they going to do then?
Nothing. So
put a gun right to her head. Bam.
Yeah, that's what he said. And he goes, you're not the only one who's been touched by a Vorlon.
By the way, Touched by a Vorlon, great spin-off potential. That was a Hallmark series, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I'm touched by an angel and Vorlon.
I've been touched by a Vorlon. You've been touched by a Vorlon. Is there anyone in this room who hasn't been touched by a Vorlon? Those Vorlons.
No hands.
Those Vorlons. Yeah, but...
They got those suits and those creepy fingers.
So everyone in this cantina, the captain of the station, the head of security, just had two people be like, that person just controlled everybody and said they were touched by a Vorlon. The president of the entire galaxy just said he was touched by a Vorlon. Are we going to do anything with that? No?
No, I mean, as we know now, if people in power do and say crazy stuff, no one is going to do shit about it.
100% true. And then Lockley does the nice trope. She punches Lita in the face. Lita goes down.
Bang.
And then she goes, maybe you should have taken her out when you got the chance. Yeah, not wrong. Honestly,
no, that was such a fun. It was a Scarlet Witch scene where she came in and just Scarlet Witch the hell out of everybody in there. A perfect way to show off her powers. From this point on, it was such a better heel turn moment than Talia Winters got, because Pete, this is the second resident telepath we've had, and both of them had an insane Breaking Bad moment out of nowhere where they just snapped and turned. So this one was definitely a lot better because we get the Scarlet Witch moment as well.
Lita actually does do the tell don't show here, where she says it. I did all this help and you screwed me over and I'm upset. And you're like, that tracks. And I actually want to let you. So Peter, I want to hear your thoughts on the scene. I got more to say about it.
I thought, so I really enjoyed the visual of her drumming her fingers and everybody following suit. But I do have to say that it was very funny that there was like an alien in the foreground with three big rubber fingers also drumming their fingers.
It was what's his face from the Mos Eisley Cantina, the Max Reba. He was right there in the corner. It was just his hand.
That was amazing. Yeah, Lita's a little over the top for me. I don't know if this is consistent, with. I don't know about her character's backstory, but she was a little intense.
It was a total turn. She's been like the meek person for most of her tenure for the past few seasons. Bad shit keeps happening to her. She got kicked out of her apartment at one point, and she's, but I'm the most powerful telepath that helps everybody, and just gets dirt kicked out of her. So, yeah, this is kind of out of nowhere.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say it's out of nowhere, but the bigger problem to me is that the first couple of seasons we'd build things and they really paid off. It's, oh, that shadow's creepy. And the shadows literally start blowing up planets, and we have Sheridan that takes a nuke to a whole planet, and it's amazing. And so we have been propping up that the telepaths and mundanes, that's what they call non-telepaths in Babylon 5, are going to fight. And we've been propping up and paying off in this episode that Lita is more powerful than she appears. So we've been doing all of that. The problem is, as you already noted, we're almost done. We only have 2 real episodes left after this one. There are 3 episodes left, but the last one is like a compilation show. It's not real. So they build this up. We're building up Lita. We're building up Lita. Does it pay off? No, she leaves. So that's the bigger problem. When you're like, she's over the top. I wouldn't have minded Lita over the top if we did a season 4 of Buffy kind of resolution with it. We don't get Evil Willow. We get Lita just vanishes. Now, what we get next is the scene which is literally the universe saying all of these main characters need to go. Because we get Franklin, Delenn, and Sheridan all talking. Sheridan, Mike, am I wrong? He's just done so dirty this season. He is, not only does he go from being like the coolest guy in the galaxy, the Picard, he is just inept and foolish and, more importantly, ineffectual this season.
No, for Sheridan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of aloof now. Even in this, I think it's this scene, it's later on when they're doing the pregnancy scene. I'll get to that. But since you brought it up, he just like, yeah, I could have her stay around, or I could have both of them. He gets almost this Shatner quality that he did not have earlier.
Yeah, the real answer is the author did not have anything to do with these characters, but wanted to give all of his friends a payday, which I respect, but it's just rough.
I'd have a payday about now.
Oh man, that's like a commercial we would have seen when this show was on. But yeah, basically, it's hilarious because Sheridan's going, I don't understand what happened to Lita. And we literally have Franklin, our data, go, well, actually, here's 3 very logical things that happened. And he's, yeah, no. And then we also hear that the Narn do not want Jakar to stay on Babylon 5. So literally the show is kind of just saying to all of our main characters, Sheridan, Delenn, Franklin, Jakar, Lita, it's like,
you gotta go. What are you doing here? You gotta move on.
We all got Midwest. This is like the 5th whelp. Whelp, patch your knees.
Well, they're just plating up spin-offs here. Spin-off. Lita and Jakar, you guys get off there. Boom, you get a spin-off. Delenn, Sheridan, you're having a kid. The 3 of you, spin-off show over on Minbari. I mean, they're just plating them up here. Because we all know how Crusade went.
I'll at least let you get the word on that scene, though. It was just a lot of dialogue, I believe, Pete.
Yeah.
But if you had anything else.
No, it was all very backstory that was sort of washing over me and set up that I was like, okay, this is not knowing at the time as I was watching it that we were nearing the very end of the series.
This is it.
This is it. So it makes more sense in retrospect that they were sort of teeing these things up to get this things over with. But yeah, I was like, okay, not that much is happening in this episode. A lot of talking, not a lot of action.
All right, next scene, we get Garibaldi's getting told he needs to go, where Lockley comes up again, really laying into we may not like each other, but we respect each other. And yeah, she does say, maybe we're just too much alike. But then she does the nice thing for Garibaldi, which is like, I called your girlfriend, future wife, to come back. And his girlfriend, he called and said you needed me, which is actually hilarious because Garibaldi didn't. Because Lee shows up and she's just, we're going to get you through the drinking. She's also, remember at the end of last season where you said you were going to come back to Mars with me and then inexplicably went back to Babylon 5, almost as if drawn there by a writer who was contractually obligated to have you there? Yeah, do you want to go back to the storyline that we started 20 episodes ago?
We're going to actually go back to that and just do that. And just
we're going to do that instead.
But then what I loved, this is the most hilarious oh yeah moment, like the worst Encyclopedia Brown revealed. Because you're going to have to come back and help me with my super rich empire. And he's, rich empire, you say? That gives me an idea. You can buy things with goods and money.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yes. I messed up the quote. Thank you. Yes. So we literally have Garibaldi having a Homer moment. Oh, yeah, I'm rich. Why have I been drinking? I could have just been spending money on things.
Biggest industry on Mars is.
In this episode alone, we have established Garibaldi as a drunk who is on probation because he's been messing everything up. Lita is the most powerful telepath in the galaxy that can control people. I think that's a key point to make too. It has been established. She can control people that has been trying to do terrorist activity. And Garibaldi, we have also just established, has access to the most vast fortune on Mars. So
quite the turn of events this episode.
Would security and the captain of Babylon 5, who literally was like, man, that lead is dangerous. We probably shouldn't do anything. Would she let these two talk? Why not?
Yeah, get them together.
Nothing matters. Okay, so Garibaldi.
Well, it's the tradition of the captain just getting their drunk friends into positions of power, just let them go see what happens. Next captain's, let's put those two power people in rooms, see what happens.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, exactly. So Garibaldi goes to meet Lita, and we talked about this because I'll try and give the full rundown of the scene. We got to talk so much of the scene. Garibaldi goes in to talk to Lita and basically says, Bester messed with my head. Can you fix me? And if you fix me, I will give you lots of money to fight the Psi Corps. Because again, this is telepaths. There's a organization for telepaths by telepaths that's evil, though, sadly. That's the Psi Corps that Lita doesn't like. Lita wants telepaths to be free. The Psi Corps wants telepaths to be the most ruthless, powerful organization on Earth. Kind of side with the Psi Corps, Mike. I might just be a villain. Sorry to say that. So Garibaldi goes in and basically says, I will help you fight the Psi Corps if you give me my brain back. And Lita basically goes, counter proposal, I don't give you your brain back. I mess with you, but you still help me anyway, but in 2 years, maybe. And we find out later, does say yes. And then the other funny part in the scene is the most powerful telepath in the galaxy does two things. She knocks out a camera with her mind.
Effective.
And Garibaldi, so what's your deal? Because nobody else asked about that, but what's your deal? And I'm basically a thermonuclear weapon that was created for the last big war, and now they're gone.
Yeah, which is kind of, with a theme he was trying to go for about the gods have left the playground and their weapons are left behind, what we do with. I can see that as being a thought he was playing with, but he just didn't do anything with it here.
He builds enough. And then also we've seen that Sheridan can stop Lita. So you're just kind of, you're the most powerful person in the galaxy. We kind of saw that with the hand thing, but Sheridan could just stop you. So it's like, I think we might be saying the same stuff. There was some cool ideas in this scene that just did not go together.
All right, I have a fix-it for this scene. Instead of when she hit the camera and it just kind of loosened, was fallen by the wires out there, I would have liked to have seen something similar to the Scarlet Witch scene where instead we wanted to show how powerful she was. All she would have had to do in that moment, because Garibaldi was trying to say, hey, we need to talk alone, but there's cameras over there. I think if she would have just said something with that cold stare is, we can say whatever we want. They hear whatever I want them to hear. Mm-hmm. They see whatever I want them to see. Would have been so, even no effect and so much more effective for the character she's established this scene. I don't know. What do you think, Pete?
Well, I mean, it goes back to why could she not, why did the gun in her head? She could have blasted the gun out of his hands, right?
Yeah, why does a blaster even to her gun do anything? Because I was touched by a Vorlon too. Yeah, but they didn't give you thermonuclear powers, motherfucker.
Why did she not know? Because he was touched by it. Well, that's what it all goes back to.
But what does that mean?
What does that mean exactly? It was it was sort of undercutting itself constantly, building her up to be the thermonuclear. But at the same time, you can't get out of this. I don't know. It just seemed... It's contradictory.
I'm going to fully wrap because, what we did with the prison scene is we get a before, a middle, a cutaway because the show loves cutaways, and then a completion. But we're just finishing the whole thing where Lita and him make a deal. In season 4, they had a practical effect with Lita where her eyes got really bloodshot, which did a really good job.
The goo eyes, we called it. That was fun. Goo
Why
eyes.
do you ruin cool stuff, Mike?
It's not ruining, it's making it cooler with goo.
Where they would do stuff over and it just doesn't.
I wrote in my notes, we made it almost all the way through without anything looking hokey, but the eye glow sucked.
Goo eyes, yes. Glow eyes, no.
Glow eyes, no.
I love it. Yeah. So
My kingdom for goo eyes.
Yeah.
agreed. Go back. Bring back the goo. Okay.
Bring back the goo eyes.
Now the fallout of that is actually pretty cool, which is Garibaldi goes and talks to Lockley about like how to fix Lita, and he does a really convincing job of saying, hey, we got to get her off the planet, everything's gonna blah 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 blah, do fine, etc., etc. And it turns out, of course, he's really being a double agent. He's being controlled by a telepath to be a double agent, Mike. We only if we'd seen that plot point before, go listen to the amazing episode with 8 Fedorov from season 4, The Face of the Enemy. So Garibaldi is convincing Lockley basically to let Lita go. And then Jakar comes in and is like, hey, I got to go too. What if we go together and explore the stars? And also Jakar has been funding Lita as well because long-term Lita is going to help out with telepaths. And it's a thing. I'm out, Mike.
That's more cool Narn stuff. So Pete deserves to know about Narn telepaths, in which eons ago, there were the main plot line of the first few seasons of Babylon 5 are these two giant god races fighting each other. And they fought each other through influencing all these races that, we're dealing with on Babylon 5. And one of the things they did was the Shadows, one of those two big bad races, was really telepaths. They were susceptible to telepaths attacking them. That's one of the big reasons why the Vorlons put all the energy into the thermonuclear bomb of Lita. So with the Narn, one of their backstory is they weren't ever telepathic. So Jakar is throughout season 3 and 4, he's trying different drugs to make himself telepathic to bring back telepaths to his race.
Okay.
So what they're doing now is Jakar and the Narns are funding Lita to kind of help them bringing back telepathy to their race because she was in this telepath war before and had access to all of them. I know. Was there anything else to that, Dre?
No, that happened.
Yep, that all happened.
That all happened. Okay.
So you deserve to know as much as you can about Jakar and his marsupial people.
Yes. This is important.
I think it almost gets there. This episode doesn't quite, which is I think Lita's enough in control that we could buy that this was 100% an Ocean's 11 thing. She wanted to be in the cell to get to here, to get to there, to get to there. Because you got to know more cool Lita stuff with bad special effects. There was an episode where Garibaldi has a dream and Lita's in his dream and she's like, oh, I'm testing my powers. You're not supposed to know I can be in your dream. Wake up. And he's, what's going on now?
What the hell?
We could buy that Lita potentially even let Sheridan think he could capture her so that they'd believe it. Is going to get herself off the station, is going to get everybody to help her out. So, but the problem is, we've said this a couple times, Mike, about this season. It's like, you got to take a stand. If you leave it ambiguous, it just comes off as clunky. The issue is, and this episode is the epitome of it being like, even Star Wars, when they did that, had to give it time to breathe. It didn't just come out of nowhere. And so it's because he didn't go all in on the spinoffs, and because he didn't go all in on wrapping up the plots, and because he didn't go all in on the new plots he introduced, it's just a bunch of unfinished stuff. And as mentioned, JMS, if you ever listen to this, understood it's, you were just out of time, and I feel you. But it's just, as a fan of the show that sees what can happen when JMS has time to finish a story arc, this was painful. Because I think 2 or 3 more rewrites, and there's something there. But there was not time for 2 or 3 more rewrites.
Clearly he needed help at this point because he built it to last those 5 seasons at first, but he wrapped up the story he had intended to do. He was allowed to finish it, and it's almost a lesson. It's let something be done when it's done. I'm glad we got these episodes for, we have a little more to see what could have been afterward, but yeah, it kind of did tarnish the legacy of Babylon 5 a little bit.
But then you got a show like Lost that didn't really know where it was going. And I feel like that was sort of, this show felt, and from what I understand, was very meticulously scripted out the arc. Lost, I feel like they're sort of flying by the seat of their pants and crash the plane before they're able to bring it.
Well, they've
home.
said that, and that's kind of how most TV
that was
goes.
The
is
first season, Pete. Did you watch the show? They crashed the plane. Come on, Pete.
Crash the plane, I'm out. I like planes too much. They beat up that one. Not for me. Bad show.
Said plane crash? No way. No way, Jose. In my world, we land planes.
What I do actually enjoy, by the way, is Lost. The final season literally has a bunch of the characters just kind of hanging around, and I didn't mind the last season of Lost, as an FYI. And behind the scenes is actually the flip side. On Lost, they were like, we have a tight 3-season arc. Let the art be the art. And then the producers did what I just said, which is, no, you stay on the air. And they're like,
Keep
if you're
it going.
They're like, if you're going to make us do this, we're going to have episodes about tattoos.
Sometimes a writer will write something intended to be a one arc and gets done. Jonathan Hickman on Hoxpox for X-Men recently was a good example of this, where he came up with this great new idea to put all of the X-Men on Krakoa Island, a mutant itself, and have them all just intermingle, good guys, bad guys together and make their own nation. And he had this huge 3-arc structure for it, where how the storyline was going to go. And everybody, all the other writers who wrote the other X-Men tie-ins and the other X-Men titles, like, no, we don't want you to complete the arc. We want to stay in this world and write stories around this world instead. So even though he had written this story to be told, it never got to finish, just because it was too good of an idea to just keep churning like that to make more and more stories. So it's like, there's need for both kinds of stories in the world. Something that's just an episodic that goes on forever and can be a machine that gives people work and keeps going and is a comfort food. And then some that just, no, here is a novel we're going to tell. And unfortunately, Babylon 5 tried to be both in its fifth season. It did one successfully and tried to make this transition that kind of killed it.
Yep, I can see that. I love an adventure of the week. But if you're telling a novel and the thing is ending and then you say, but wait, there's more.
There is
this
so
is just
much.
but wait, there's.
Yeah, now we do get one of the wildest scenes. I cut it past all the Lita stuff. We had to do Lita stuff first, Mike, because it was too wild. In the midst of all this, the Len, our calm, quiet bonehead, the Minbari, who is supposed to be super calm. And earlier this episode, we saw her calm and angry Sheridan, who was going to throw his best friend, Michael Garibaldi, the drunk, out the airlock. No, she calmed him down. Calm Delenn comes in as angry. And
it's like, bastards! They're bastards!
It's a fun button because even Sheridan, what I appreciate is even JMS cannot get away from his own characters and his own story going, we serious here? Sheridan says a thing and Franklin's, you kidding me? And so, yeah.
Well, he says, the next person that comes in here shouting, I'm going to shoot. And she
Sheridan
comes in,
is
bastards! I'll get you the gun.
But Sheridan's literally, this feels really ridiculous. And if it keeps going, and then, Delenn comes in and is yelling. And, then, of course, Franklin, you both did a great job there with the Three Stooges impressions of him acting. He goes, I'll get the gun. So Delenn ends up in med lab, and Franklin's FYI, she's pregnant. We already know, by the way, Pete, because we saw this on season 3, because we had a flash forward in future. So they have a son named David. We know that this has happened, but we don't know that yet, which leads to just one of the weirdest lines out of nowhere. So Franklin's, this is a first. I don't know if her, biology can handle a human Minbari hybrid. Delenn is a Minbari who has a bonehead, but she has hair.
Right.
She has hair because she used a device from the world beneath Babylon 5 to turn herself into a human Minbari hybrid. So she's like half human, half Minbari.
Got it.
Sheridan is a full human kind of, but a Vorlon, a giant psychic squid creature that can project itself as an angel, as you do.
Touched by a Vorlon.
Mm-hmm. Not just touched, like basically went down Sheridan's throat and hung out in him. That's what they do.
I saw that in that explains the credits. I think that was
by a Vorlon.
Entered by. So Sheridan, and we've established, like, if you've been touched by a Vorlon, you've been changed. So Sheridan is a human touched by a Vorlon, and Delenn is a half human, half Minbari, and they're having a kid.
Somehow they make it work.
Yep,
it's in this crazy world. These two kids are going to do it somehow.
Crazy kids.
So they're having a kid. But we don't know. Franklin's. So this is, a Hydra having sex with a Gruffalo. I'm running out of mythic cryptids to think of. He's, I don't know if this is going to work. So Sheridan just randomly is just like, if I have to choose between the baby and my wife, I choose my wife. And then he softens, he goes, but if I can choose both. But again, someone should go back and be like, why did you say that? And we as the audience already know that they have a kid named David. So it's just, that was weird.
He was coming out and saying abortion is healthcare, people. And if it,
Because, Franklin, and it's, man, I certainly hope this doesn't fall apart in 20 years. We do talk about the prescience of the show. So you know what, Mike?
JMS decides to get real political at the end.
I love it.
We had the nice on-the-nose fascism metaphors last season, and this season we have that. So yeah, Delenn is pregnant. He's kind of excited, sort of. Maybe should be excited. Might want to kill his
he's
kid.
Excited.
We don't know.
As long as he doesn't have to kill one of them to save the other, he's excited.
Yes.
And then we end the show with Delenn and Sheridan being like, we're going to have a baby. I wonder how Hitler is doing.
I wonder how Londo is doing.
And Pete, you got to see none of this. And I don't even think he showed up. Oh, yeah, he does. So Londo's little voiceover in the intros, he says, why don't you eliminate the entire Narn homeworld while you're at it?
Oh,
he
snap.
He is one of the most evil characters in the universe, but
he was the guy I was telling you about earlier who got to be friends with Jakar after initiating a genocide on Jakar's people.
But the actor who plays him is so lovable. Everybody's, we can't stay mad at you.
Come on.
Delenn and Sheridan are about to have a kid, and they're like, I wonder how Hitler's doing. And then they flash to Hitler being sad alone on the throne. That's
the sound.
That was something.
That's all, folks. Heavy lies the head that wears the gigantic wig.
Like I said, normally ask, are you going to check more out? What do you think? But Pete, you can if you want to be like Tracy Stroggins and go, I just want a monologue about my alcoholic dad for 5, floor is yours, sir.
When I first met you two, I recognized something. And that's because I had a podcast.
We recognize each other.
I had a podcast too. And no, I was into it. Actually, I can't believe that this is so close to the end. I need to find out so much more. This episode was about recovery. It was about women's healthcare and touched by a Vorlon. We've all been touched by a Vorlon, and I want to see Lita and Jakar. Jakar rules. Jakar, I was obsessed with the makeup. I think it was so good. It looked incredible. I just couldn't stop staring at him. I was like, this looks amazing. This would be some crappy CG now.
Mm-hmm. And it would look, you get the full cost. It's great. Yeah.
It rules. It's so, tactile and believable. So yeah, I think I might have to go back and start at season 1. I might have to start from the beginning.
Oh, wow.
And it's different because you're at the end. Most people will continue on, but you get to say you're
I got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to go but the beginning.
Awesome. Well, you also have a good companion podcast to listen to as you go through the adventure.
Yeah, so I can have some, way marking along the way, and
we try to center your sanity through everything. I think that's what we do, Dre.
I've lost it, Mike. I don't know what's going on anymore. I will say this. So, Pete, absolute delight. The other thing we tend to end with is anything to check out. So, the bar is pretty low for what is acceptable to the listener after we had you like that. Anything you think anybody should check out right now?
I'm the film program director for the Capital City Film Festival here in Lansing, Michigan. And so I have been in program brain for so long. I've been watching submissions. This is like a 6-month process of choosing what we play in our festival, and we watch so many submissions, and so much is good, so much is not as good. But so I've seen some great stuff recently, and I haven't been watching TV because I've been in film mode. So I would just say there's a documentary film called Joy Bubbles that I'm going to plug. Joy Bubbles is about Joe Ingressia, who was a freaker, an early freaker. He became blind as a young man and he could whistle 2600 hertz tone.
Oh, okay, yeah. So when you say freaker, you literally mean, man, to kids it's going to sound insane.
Yes.
If I'm getting this right, let me know. This is people that back in the day of early phones and internet were able to basically pretend to be a machine. And you're saying it wasn't even via whistle. The most infamous was the Captain Crunch one. There was a whistle and Captain Crunch people would use. You're saying this person literally
he had perfect
pretend
pitch.
to be a machine. That is so cool.
Yeah, and he could mimic tones and make free long distance calls around the world and just hacked his way into the phone system. And this film is it's so great. And he's such a special, there's tons of archival footage. It's all told with archival footage. He's passed away for some time. So this film, I don't know if it's out. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm sure it will come out, but look for that. Just incredible story, really kind of heartwarming, uplifting. He changes his name to Joy Bubbles, literally to his legal name to and he becomes a 5-year-old. That's his persona, as a 5-year-old with infinite joy for the universe. And I just was totally captivated by it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
I'm going to give you A+ for, I can bring it on. Just bring it. And then Scary, I don't know, what is it? Not another teen movie answers that purpose. It's already been brought in.
It's been brought.
We asked you to bring it, and it has been brought in. This is not a democracy. This is a cheerocracy. Check out Bring It On, I guess.
Check out Bring It.
That's a good movie.
Bring It On is a good movie.
Oh, you ready for this? You are not ready for this. Bring It On, the love interest of Kirsten Dunst, Bring It On, is Joey in the movie Hackers, which has freaking in it. Full circle mic drop. Mike, follow that up. I dare you. Do it.
I will say everybody can check out MikeSlater.com, but specifically the card alters. I'm showing the guys on the cast a sneak preview of the card I'm working on right now. But for the listeners right now who can't see what I'm showing, Pete, go to MikeSlater.com/alters, and you can see my card alter gallery for stuff that I paint.
That's sick as hell, Mike.
That was pretty good. And my favorite so far is the apocalypse that has gone to Logan Trent. So MikeSlater.com, and make sure to go follow, it's a nice wind down, make sure to go follow Mike Slater on Blue Sky as Slatron, and tell him you love all of his magic cards, especially the Apocalypse magic card, especially the Bill Lambier magic card, because nothing works like an inside joke on the internet.
Who would do that?
Yeah.
What are you, some bit boy or something?
Yeah, of course. You can find the show everywhere podcasts are found. You got to check this out. And of course, we spin off from patreon.com/Jeff May, where this show was birthed. And I'm most places. Nerd Numbers. Pete, any socials you would like the listeners to check out?
You can check out Pizza Genius. Pizza Genius LLC is my Instagram, and my film Magic Town Film is on Instagram and whatnot.
So, and help me out. How do you spell? Is it PIZZAGENI.US?
You got it.
And I feel so ridiculous to have not realized that to sound like your name,
Pizza Genius.
I have to leave. I'm not cool enough for this podcast.
Well, Dre, I guess I got to finish it off the same way we always do, with a hearty rats off to you, sir.
Oh, yes. Rats off to you, Dre.
Yeah, rats off to you, the catchphrase of this podcast. Thank you all so much.
Cheers all, and rats off.
Rats off.
This mic stand is the worst, too, so if I have to reset.
Yeah, none of us can stand Mike.
Oh!
Gotcha.
Zinger.
Got him.